Hold it! Great Scott! Excuse me! Objection! Hold it! Hold it! Objection! Objection!
Objection! Objection!
Let's go. Oh boy. That barely lasted an hour. Wow. Naruto. Oh, what on earth are you playing at just now? Or rather, what on earth were you playing at all along? My bossy, my amazing bossy, you've been picking holes at it from the start. Sorry about that, but you promise? You said you approved my... Not... Yes, I did make a promise. Wait, right. I said that I believe in you and fight for your freedom to the very end. But I also told you I was no scientist. I don't understand your hypotheses. The fact is, there is an honorable flaw in your logic. Yes, there is in you. But if I run through... Anyway... Perhaps. Nevertheless, a man died as a consequence, didn't he? Oh no. You're right. You're so right. It's all my fault. And I have no right to blame you for all my failures. And I'm a disaster. I'm not just a scientist, but as a human being. Well, that might be a little over the top. And while you were on the subject, what about Barack? He's being awful. Blaming his old university's friend to be a murderer, you mean? He's a disaster, not just as a professor, but as a human being. Oh, but wait, he's the Reaper, isn't he? Perhaps he's not classified as a Homo sapien anymore. It's not supposed to be one word. Glad that cheered him up. Clear it up. Can I double check something with you? Huh? Yes? What? A machine demonstrated you prepared. There was a base on your claim on your prices, I presume. There was no trickery involved. I drew the plans for the machine with my very own hand. Every line painstakingly drawn with the firm belief that the science is only a future. My hypothesis hasn't reached maturity, but please, Bernardo, you must believe in me. Alright, Professor, I understand. Counsel, defense. The prosecution's witness is ready to take the stand. Of course, about to... Make your way to the courtroom, please. So here hinge on to this demonstration. If the professor sounds his claim, it relieves him with only one person who possibly killed the victim. But on the other hand, Mr. Solms was adamant. The particular implementation was such an attempted by the professor, the demonstration is impossible. So, what should I really be trying to prove here? Wow, that took 50 minutes. Jeez. Investigation is ready, my lord. This is the fence, my lord. So, Lombard Zykes. I believe these witnesses saw the demonstration in question with their own eyes. Indeed they did. As for luck to have it, one of them is a police detective. So the testimonies we're about to hear consider highly reasonable. Perfect, a detective of all people. The prosecution stance remains unchanged, though in a tragedy, the demonstration on the day in question was scientifically sound. And consequently, the sole person with the opportunity to have committed the act of murder is an all-other Indian. Oh boy. Thank you, counsel. The prosecution's position is clear. So bring forward your witnesses now. Bailiff, show the witnesses in. The witness whose proximity is in the day of qualified and uncritical truth. Oh wow. And Gina's there too. Witnesses, state your names and occupation for the court to hear. My name is Balhassan Loon. It's Parcio hot air balloons in vicinity of the experimental stage. Oh boy. Impossible balloon, really. My name is Wynathan Godstate Sedman Osmanton. I have come to see Great Britain all the way from my home Bohemia. Okay, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna be hard to say it. I'm very rich. Inspector Gina Magistrate, Scotland Yard. I'm a great detective, even Sherlock Holmes. I was on security at the exhibition. I got to go up one of those balloons. It was amazing. Gina, again? But she didn't mention that she was at the scene of the disaster from all the balloon, didn't she? And she's clearly loved every minute of it. There's 3 balloons flying near the public experimentation the stage when the incident occurred. 2 witnesses were in such balloons at the time the event saw the floor of the public skies. Yeah, make it sound like we were in the clouds. It was only the altitude was circa 60 feet, very low. Well, you can't say nothing if you fly. I can you? 60 feet, about 18 years in. Thank you for your introduction. Now you will give your testimony to the court. Kindly describe exactly what you witnessed, especially when you had the vantage above the stage. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Speaking for this kid's gonna be a real pain in the butt. Sorry, I don't speak, I'm not really good with accent. It was an incident, a terrible incident. I am only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. The thing is a huge bang from the stage. And the next second, there was a huge bang in the sky beside us. And from the ambs of the smoke, the cage appeared out of nowhere. The cage fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into the crystal tower. I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went near the crash after it crashed into the tower. Oh boy. Tina? Most extraordinary collective account, I would say. Good. I'll clarify something. There's details of witness testimony that I have not heard mentioned until now. Specifically, there were 2 explosions? More precisely, 2 explosions in 2 separate places, yes? The demonstration of the balloons carrying the witness was around here. And there were balloons nearly at the time carrying the passengers would be clear. Then a powerful explosion on the machine demonstrated the first explosion occurred. So-called birdcage claim disappeared from the stage a moment later. The second explosion occurred directly adjacent to the balloon carrying the witness. Outside of the explosion, subsequently pulling down the crystal. I was very surprised the cave appeared before my eyes whizzed person inside. It was so hot. It was blasted, very hot. I don't want to miss a thing, so I kept my eyes wide. I have a lot of money. I still have a lot of money. Oh boy. As I say, who is this curious infant? I told the young man as a noble Bohemian royalty. Apparently, he disguised himself in order to steal. Steal unnoticed and noted to the great expectation. Yeah, I'm here in London on sightseeing trip with my elementary school. We will have the benefit of a child's point of view and assessment. Do we really need that? I remember my son will look like. Oh, I see. A delightful face indeed, I'm sure. Yes, I don't think so. Great disguising. The point is, the testimony of the witness further substantiates the facts of the court. Namely, the defending the disclosure instantaneously successfully demonstrated. Furthermore, the crystal tower fell. What official? Oh boy.
Hold it!
There were 3 balloons above the experimentation stage at the time, I understand. Yes, sir. CC. All 3 of them, balloons. I can't pronounce that. There are very popular signalers. Some people pay £10 for one ride. £10? That's more than an annual stipend. £12 per month. Is that my money? That is my money pocket. Royals have all the luck. You don't say. I got up there for free. I did play deal. I work for Your Majesty's Royal Police Guard, you know. Detectives have all the luck. You don't say! If they are popular, why would there only be opening for such a small number of balloons still? Because I have too many in the skies that they could crash into each other. The operator for the balloons were decided by lots, with each operator manually particularly. See, in the zone above the public experimentation stage is the most profitable. The only person also they hate me. Parasios, they hate me. Parasiatos, thank goodness. The court has made it clear the picture of the arrangement of the balloons by exhibit. Perhaps we should hear more about it actually. Right, I can find it really in here, my lord. There's
Hold
so you actually saw the incident happen right from up in the air? Yup, yep, and it's amazing what detectives get to do it. I'm telling you, Odo, being a lawyer is my game. Hey, you should join the force. You should go play together. You know me so well. Yes, well, anyway. Could you tell exactly what happened when you saw it, do you? Yes, everything. We saw everything because we were all blah blah blah. That dodgy climbing into the cage. That dodgy professor pulling all the levers. It all happened, and that's where they were at. Massive bang cage disappeared just like that. Are you describing the moment the subject's body tinkered close into? Can't believe. I didn't know what to make of it, but there was another bang right in my ear. I looked around and there was a great fireball and there was nothing for it.
Excuse me.
Master Guts. Did your memory on the day differ? My teacher at elementary school said that when you meet someone for the first time, you should always use your full name. Yes. What's it again? Williams, Gostrick, Zygmunt, Altsman. Good luck pronouncing that. That's four names. That's the four names. Then the point is, you have something to say. Something the response to Detective Gina's illustrates from Mark last remark. Oh, is that right, Odo? Yes, back to it. Why does it ever have the problem with I dress at the moment? Is that not what I saw? Oh? Yeah, there was a second explosion, and it was right beside my balloon. Is that true? It's true. But I'm sure. And once we were in it, 1 minute there was nothing, but there was another massive explosive. My teacher at elementary school said it was something else speaking. It started irritating me. I still haven't taken that mouthful in the middle. All the brains brought up to be full of joy. This kid is gonna be a pain in the butt of a witness, I'm gonna say. Just before the second explosion happened, next to our balloon, I clearly witnessed a green balloon flying into the sky. A green balloon? What? I never saw nothing like that. No, I did. I saw it. What you can say I didn't. I will complain because it's all council. I will cry and scream. My testimony is a truth. I'm her only prince. You cannot say it was a lie. That was not a lie. Just playing a bleeding royal card, are you? Typical. Says the orphan who likes to remind people she works for Her Majesty's beliefs. In that case, young man must admit. Wait, what he said earlier. Remember this?
Objection!
Mr. in your testimony, you said that all three balloons had apparently stopped at the time and damage. Yes, see, that's correct, sir. They were caught in the act, I suppose. And so I wonder if you might know what this is. I think maybe I see part of a balloon, a burnt purse of a Pavlik envelope. Sorry, the envelope. Pardon, that is a large round part of a balloon which becomes filled with hot air. It was made very thick fabric Lined with rubber. You do not want to rip it when you're in the sky. Just as I thought. A piece of cloth were found near the experimentation in the stage, in other words, Mr. Gardos testified. A green balloon did indeed explode that day. And if all the balloons are... then your statement that you were undamaged is fully electric. Here comes the problem.
Objection!
Here comes the problem. That instantaneous and did occur, but after explosion from the stage, before it led to the causation causing the balloon to explode, yes, anything possible. An unfortunate traffic accident is, as it were, but it changes. This I cannot accept. Why not, Mr. Moon? You're suggesting that that person died in a balloon. There is no need to get fired up, Mr. Moon. The victim was a sole fatality that day. That's right, I can prove it. I'm not a liar. There's no such balloon in the sky. You're saying it's impossible? Why? This court is more important to discuss than the number of balloons on that day.
Objection!
But we can't ignore the fact that nobody appeared to have known anything about it. Oh Lord, no offense calls for further testing. I concur. There is clearly more to the truth here than meets the eye. It's imperative that we clear all issues of the phantom balloon, I feel. Witness, will you get supplemental testimony about the balloon? And so you... you got any crazy? My Lord. As I said, Balza's loon is not a liar. Balzar loon is not a liar. Every balloon in the sky I had landed safely. All three of my balloons were carried past me. If they were fell on the ground, the explosion would have got catastrophe. You gotta get away with the fact that the burn-up bit of cloth was found at the scene, can't you? The copper at Scotland Yard reckoned it probably some debris thrown from the explosion from the stage. That stupid Rago is mistaken. Ragazoo is mistaken. My balloon must have red and blue zigzag stripes anyway. Oh boy, here we go. So your assertion is that the balloon is a child's doll, not belong to you. Sir, examine this comment. Sir, Escalante. Exactamente. If I ever saw a balloon in the first place, I did not like the sound of it. It's not very proud for business. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia. If you attack us, we leave Ellen back and leave Fort of all fort. Well, he turned quickly. What happened to all about war? Mr. Maloney certainly doesn't appear to be lying, but that doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here. If the defense is able to find the fault of witness testimony, the court must consider them the truth. Think a long hard on that. The situation has clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here, no matter what it takes. So you may cross-examination of the witness.
Hold it!
You couldn't just have forgotten one, maybe? Just ignore it. I might have not noticed if I was given 100 lentils and one was missing. But we were talking about 3 enormous balloons. Do you believe I'm making a mistake about something grand and expensive? I took a liberty of having your special Grayson check this gentleman's warehouse. Oh, so I have the report here. It clearly says a total of 3 balloons. It would appear no mistake has been made here then. Sir, really, Miss Leslie could have been in such a many old tasks. What me? I tell you what I told the boss. Us East End like me can only count to 2. Obviously it ain't true, but the boss brought me in and said it had to have a go and myself into the case.
Hold it!
Finally, it would have been a quite catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On a note, so tell me, what is it that keeps the balloons in the sky? Are you an idiot? Sorry. That's like asking, how does the candles burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright. The balloon flies, what else? There must be an Italian. There must be an Italian for I don't know. There's 2 types of flying hot air balloons and gas balloons. Hot air balloons work in the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air. Hot weather gas, whereas gas is the verbs to fill in gas that is lighter than air. See, and all my balloons are filled with magic gas, I believe. Hydrogen, lighter than air, is highly explosive. Good lord. I do not permit smoking my cigarettes of any balloons. Magical gas does not light fire. Even a small spark of static electricity could cause an entire balloon to explode. What's the matter with you, Signor? Or Signor? I think that's what Signor. All that comes out of your mouth is exposing anything. I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe, but there have to be, or I can't eat. Hey, none of my balloons explodes that day. I'm completely sure, but I sure what happened and must show me proof. Alright, Mr. Lonnie had 3 balloons in the air that day. If none of them were damaged, then what were they?
Hold it!
I was surprised to find out the Flamberg was still on the scene, actually. Didn't you search the area surrounding the stage for clues? I'm not picking stuff up on the ground. I always work better diving into people's pockets instead. Oh, much for the new career path. Mind you, boss, isn't easy picking up all kinds of rubbish on the floor. Thing is, though, the cage went crashing into the Crystal Tower, didn't it? Whatever. So what were the most investigations? Yeah, so I would have seen someone from Scotland have gathered depth as evidence. Core, listen to you. Y'all stumble upon the balloon and suddenly they're the investigator of the world. Pardon. Well, you ain't got a badge. Just like this one, I could arrest you with when I wanted. I want to put it past her. No kidding. I come to think of it, there was some talk of some scorching on the ground at the meeting we had about the investigation. The coppers at Scotland Yard, it was probably some debris from the explosion on the street. There was a considerable amount of damage on the stage surrounding her, wasn't there? Yeah, some old coves were watching the experimentation caught on the stage blasting into her. Great job, old counterpart, getting me over. I hadn't considered that. It seems that there was a great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police shouldn't have missed a torn piece of evidence from the balloon. Inspector Gregson could expect a repercussion. That's like police weapon, I should say. Man, it's all pleasure. All that matters, the scrap of balloon envelope means nothing.
Hold it!
You mean the color is wrong? See, senor, I do not have a green balloon in my warehouse. And yet, the piece of green cloth was found at the scene. It's on the single balloon. Oh, well, I don't know that. How can that be? For the sake of the argument, let's say that the green balloon did explode above the stage. And how did it restore the clue that it happened on the day in question? Why not? There have been some recreational balloon flights over Hyde Park operation from before Great Britain. One could have exploded some earlier date. Unfortunately, I forget. I don't believe a man has been earlier balloon accident, but see, actually, senor say it's from not one of my balloons. It clearly about what he saw. Oh boy.
Excuse me!
Is something wrong? Master thought. Is Master running like whatever. It's the tip of my tongue. Something was very wrong. I know what I saw. See, the green balloon was there. I swear it. I swear it was all over Bohemia. You cannot speak such a bad language, but it changes nothing. You were saying? If you don't have evidence, Alonzo, I must tell you, your parents are punished you. Perhaps we'll have the judge decide that when it comes to punishments. Evidence. What is it? Evidence. It's evidence. To give a simpler fact, young man, a photograph from the instance, some tangible proof that what do you claim? Oh yes, some say sooner. I have a photograph here. Good gracious! What? I have not been up in the balloon, but a while it was I was expected. I took what it looks like a photo, of the Crystal Tower of the in London. There's following balloon. And the instantaneous kinesis experiment? Did you take a picture of that? Yeah, the picture. Really? Did you take one? I rode on the balloon. I was born a spirit. Never mind, man. Can you show us that photograph? Of course. Those are wits. See? I'm from not mine. Well, they are shocked to speak. Yes, I think I'm shocked to D and word, real man. Yeah, perhaps I cannot see the green balloon of the photograph, but they was not my fault. They was a super person made the camera. What is that? One of them I was sounding like. Very well, the world's of the photograph. Let's take a look at that. Hold on. Well, never mind. I'm sure you have plenty of wonderful separate memories to take them with you. In any case, well, exactly do you take the book when it is? Well, it was the day of the big explosion. You don't say. When I was present, I said the starter released a very loud bang and a very high wind rush went around my face. That means this photograph was taken a split seconds before the explosion. Well, if you ask me, a black and white photograph changes nothing. I couldn't. Lovely linguistic, baby. This young Mohammed man claims to have seen another fourth balloon, but the man denies the possibility. And it's hard to imagine the man could change the mistaken number. Still, there's an inconsistency. Tell him it's no something I prefer. Well, I think it's this one that it's the print.
Objection!
Unfortunately, the photograph mismatch can't tell us the color of the balloon, but it can tell us something else, something crucially important. What? It shows a picture of the balloon. Wasn't carrying anything passengers. What? Goodness, you're right. But certainly the balloons could have been carried passengers. There would have been no sense of it. Sorry? That they are for pleasure of seeing views. Our balloons only fly past passengers. But it tells us the picture of the balloon is one in four of them. One of them, to which the incident occurred that day. There was a fourth balloon on the sky. There was... I didn't know nothing. You don't. There was a...
Objection!
There are illegal tracements everywhere. You care to look? Clearly, one such interpreter decides to capitalize on opportunity presented by the brain and manage to operate balloon's flight on Mr. Balloon's path without him realizing. See the comp. As long as try to steal my profit. I did not notice because all the experimentals went the wrong place. Has fourth balloon exploded at the very same moment Mr. Arden was beamed to the stage? Right. On the scrap that fell on the ground left a scorch mark. They don't seem to come from the stage at all. It's a bit of balloons rain down. But because it wasn't, I didn't get. Investors from the passengers. Scientific balloon floating over the experiment.
Objection!
Your photograph shows nothing more. The stray balloon scaring no one else. It clearly has nothing to do with this case. Its relevance does not elude me. I must say. The words. Prosecution calls for a trial. Really? Have we really got time for the truth yet? No, I can't let the opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up. Are they not? But there is more.
Objection!
Anything on the jury? Wait. The photograph of Sky's it might be hiding something. What? That? Wow, clue.
Objection!
Oh, past the point of possibilities. Decided. So tell the court. It's the cause of the explosion. We can reasonably assume that the picture of the balloon was destroyed, seeing how hot it was. Is it right? Yeah, it's not my fault. evidently, because of the birdcage, the kinesis machine regulars have been flying, and the balloon being filled with a flammable hydrogen incidentally exploded.
Objection!
No, that's not what happened. What? It would appear that the photograph requires a closer examination. Counsel for defense? Surely.
Take that!
The timing of the photograph can only be described as miraculous. If you look, you'll notice something bright. A white line appears directly at the balloon. More likely a ray of light caught on it. I'm afraid I can't see anything of the sorts. If you look at magnifying glass, my lord, it becomes clear the nature of the line really is. Goodness, what is that? Unbelievable, a flash of light, yes. Oh golly, do you think it might be lightning? No, it could have been a finer day. But I believe we're looking at a fire. A bolt of fire right toward the balloon, like an arrow? Indeed, even if the aching eyes would appear the flame still. Oh, so why are you suggesting the flame was struck the hydrant?
Objection!
That's sure, the balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground at the time. No flame could possibly reach it.
Objection!
Actually, it's my opinion that a particular piece of evidence at the scene reveals exactly what happened. What evidence? It's the crossbow. Don't we really need to say it?
Take that!
This was found hidden at the foot of the ornamentation tree near the scene. Good lord, is that a crossbow? An arrow dripped in oil. Satellite would have been shot far from this, sending a flame arrow straight to the hydrogen balloon. Are you suggesting that the crossbow was used to deliberately? Ronnie, you're right. There is a streak of light on the photo, just like an arrow. Damn it, done it. And the explosion of the balloon, it was very likely the result of the flaming arrow from this crossbow lighting the hydrogen. Oh. Or counsel, is it? If the aiming was caused the balloon to explode sooner, the shooter could have had a gun, had to use the gun, of course. However, there's an obvious reason why they could have been out of the question. There's noise to start. The noise to discharge, of course. The discharge, of course. That's right. By using the crossbow, the projectile could have been fired at the balloon silently. Well, yeah, if someone shot a gun off in the exhibit, it would have caused a real panic. But with the big explosion, there was very big panic. No, anyway, no. I don't like this. I should be pleased I found a new possible explanation for this, but something feels wrong.
Objection!
Do you understand the implication of what you're saying? If flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the birdcage appeared from a cloud of smoke, then the shirt. Wait a minute. Are you really saying you're? I don't get it. Was it really birdcage beamed up to the sky at all, or what? My goodness me. Now I understand. There's actually a sinking feeling about it. I think there is a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along. What? Did I hear that correctly, Counsel? There's no going back now. The horse is bolted. Let's assume that, as I said, the birdcage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. On stage where the experiment started, birdcage instantaneously kinesis materials disappeared in a spot of smoke. At the moment, the flaming arrow would have fired from the ground, causing the green balloon to explode and drawing the attention to the spectacular near above their heads. Flaming arrow inside smoke of the birdcage appeared, followed down across into the crystal tower. If you think all agree that it's impossible, then you describe the real truth behind the miraculous experiment to carry out that day. You are great.
Objection!
That's ludicrous. Why would what you describe as no science experiment? It's child's play. Contemporary display of stage magic. Both Mr. Soames and Iris said the experiment was scientifically impossible. In that case, there's only one way to explain it happened that day. In that case, the victim's body would have found inside the crystal. Instantaneous kinesis did not take place. How do you explain that? I heard in words, a man imagined myself, aside such discrepancies that could easily explain my signals. Number 3. I would say it was a look someone looked very similar to the victim, Miss Armstrong. And having the other man on stage in front of the show as a doggy double. Yes, of course, I was so unfair. Mr. Armstrong may have been inside the birdcage that was concealed in the balloon.
Objection!
That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything hidden inside it would have scattered in the wind. No one would have ever embarked in such a risk. Not necessarily. The explosion forced the balloon. The gas would have been suspense. That's for ratio. You're never tore. Flying balloons are rarely filled with higher hydrogen, but mixture of other gases such as helium as well. Helium of its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the mixed gas mixture ratio, an explosive force can be altered. The mixture ratio. Obviously, the victim's body would have been suffered from burns, and would have been invulnerable. But there's such an extent to render the whole scene as erotic as possible. I think he realized that this case has gone to a new level. Everything that can possibly explains logically and scientifically. This wasn't a golf on the stage at the start of the experiment. It was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception to make it appear the instantaneous kinesis had occurred. Well, goodness me. And if we accept the fact that what happened, it means that the victim, as Arsman, would have never present a public experimentation to stage to begin with. The sword. He couldn't have been killed by the defendant who was on stage in full view of it. It's going to be very hard for the prosecution to counter. See, he says, can't incredibly retain the professor as our brain suspect. Oh boy. No. I appreciate your effort, but thank you. Professor. But you can't stop now. You just keep your mouth shut, please. Sorry? What's it all about? Was there happening? We're happening. That was oh boy. How can you do that? What are you doing? He's doing that just to get himself to keep his prophecy. You're an idiot, dude.
Objection!
Airbrain, push airbrain. What are you talking about? It's what I said all along. I must protect my high prophecy and Russian cuisine. I just stand there to claim that it was all true. And where's your proof? No, you have to examine the machine to prove it, but it would be all over. Well, prophecies would be laid there. I mean, of it. It's clear that you drew up the plans for the experiment, but you didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable that you were duped, Professor. Yes, I probably would say I swear it. Oh, please. Was to prove that the explosion stage was an accident. Back to see. But there's no way to do it without applying the process again. Do I protect my client's assertions by event or help my clients? Either way, I can't avoid betraying his trust. You've been silent long enough. Or has all knowledge of possible one. I have to give up something. First, that the defendant was in fact I can't see it. My client is fine. What must I go on? It's not the question you have to ask yourself here. It's what I can I protect. Not Sasato. Sasato. Where are you going? Oh boy. First, Sasato take down the big one. It's time to talk later, Mr. Monaco. For now, we must concentrate on it. It's just working out where I have to go on. But can I? Alright. Yes? Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too. Well, that's worse. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Armament. I think you came to realize something yourself too, haven't you? That your experimentation machine was built with the big down are questionable. The truth behind it is that we both yeah. So, you finally opened your eyes. What? As far as for you, Albert, you can't ignore this any longer. Don't you have something to say? Zykes. Gosh, I've never heard him speak that way before. In truth, there is one more thing. Something I remember that that's a what? On the day it happened, just before I began the experiment, I saw a man near the stage. A man holding a crossbow, that crossbow. I beg your pardon? Well, sir, did the man have any distinguished features? What did he look like? Taller than me and thinner than me. But straight hair, straighter, wider than mine. Let's see here. One lens than me, two, a monocle, a rather stylish black monocle. But more particularly, it will help with identifying the man you see. I know him very well. After all, he's the engineer who built my invention. What? He built the machine. That's right. Mr. Armstrong introduced me him a year ago. He's a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. Does this name mean something? Members of the jury seem flustered. And not the name of the not a name a scientist wishes to hear. The man's an abomination. No, not a man that any conjurer wishes to hear either. Who on earth is he? I'm afraid he isn't the first tale of this isn't the first tale of this nature I've heard the scientific circle in connection with that name. There's a talk about a flamboyant experiment that turned out to be nothing but a stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is after government research for grant money. When magical magicians are needed money, I've heard of them resorting to underhand trick tactics. Some acquaintances of mine with the experience of such things have mentioned Enoch Drebber. How do you pronounce his name? Enoch Drebber. His name before. The man's both an engineer and a magician, and yes, we were dealing with an unparalleled coincidence trickster here. That's the most dead driver for you. Oh boy. Looks like we're gonna have to go to another day. So it's true then. I mentioned my great machine. It was just a grand illusion. Considering what you've heard here about Mr. Drebber's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely. Even though no one else believed it, I wanted to believe that the machine would function exactly my hypothesis predicted, which is why you were so opposed to being investigated, I knew that if the machine were examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen, but at the same time, I knew it was just found out to be nothing more than a trick than a work of deception. Then everything worked towards my research, all my dreams, my whole life would be over. I was terrified at the prospect. So you really had no idea then, did you? About the true nature of the machine was built. The true nature of Mr. Drebber. I never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it. It's entirely possible that Mr. Armstrong and Mr. Drebber were working together to use your means to fraudulently acquire a research money grant. When I announced my invention to the crowd the day it was the finest moment of my career, I pulled all the levers and turned all the dials Well, the way Mr. Trevor described it. When the smoke suddenly started to blow out, I panicked and I didn't know what was happening. But I really don't know the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything of anymore. Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent that the prosecution submitting necessary papers to release your invention into the protection afforded by the... Yes, please go ahead. I'm very sorry. Should have let that happen sooner, dude. It appeared that we shall suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day. Of the day now. Lord Sykes, our Lord. The court has nearly been aware of another party whose involvement in this matter is crucial. Yes, Mr. Trevor. Gather information about the man, if possible. I should like him served with the subpoena. With pleasure, my lord. Now, counsel for the defense. Yes, my lord. When we reconvene, I shall be looking for one thing, and one thing from you. Evidence that the defense is innocent from the crime in which he's presently stands accused. I understand. Good. In that case, court is adjourned until tomorrow morning. Oh boy. Well, that happened. Hairbrain. There's another. Yes. I'm so sorry. I was wrong, you were right. I tricked you. You trusted me. I dragged you into this mess. How did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry. He got his lap dropped at least to one so. Did you really have no idea, Professor, about what Mr. Trevor was really up to? I mean, about what he was really constructing? Naturally, that machine was the embodiment of my prophecies, all my hopes and dreams. I had complete faith in it. Alright, in fact, if that's the case, I won't say no more anymore. Now, sadly, the murder accusations against you still stands. So we must do as much investigation as we possibly before the trial resumes tomorrow. Oh, thank you for doing so much for me. This is Otto. I'm so sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Otto. Arriving late? Did you not receive my postcard? I wanted to let you know when I arrived. Postcard? What postcard? I hid it from you, Bruno. It would be a surprise. Well, did it work? I suppose that's right. I was surprised, right? Especially when she threw me on the ground. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I was just happy to see you again. That sort of slipped my mind. Maybe we should stick more traditional display of emotions in the future. Susie's train was late to London and Victoria this morning, you see. But we made the coachman really whip the horse hard so she couldn't miss the whole trial. I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. Well, I'm glad you didn't. Oh, having you at my side gives me the strength to need to win. So, I'm delighted to see you back in London. Oh, you're too kind, Mr. Nono. I'm delighted to be here too. I hope we can continue to be of service to you. But, of course, so what brought you back? Did Professor Makatoba not protest? Let's save our conversation when we're back at home, shall we? You know, I made one of my most special blends ever for this special edition. Oh, Iris, how wonderful, I can't wait. Cesaro was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel at the time, despite my disability. Our tale was about to take another extraordinary turn. Well, that's one way of starting off second case 3. See? With that said, we'll call a stream for a little bit, and then we'll come back in a couple hours. Alright guys, I'm Gunnels3. I'll catch you guys in a few hours. See you next time.